Hey lovely sexy gaming people, welcome to today's video, which is Dungeons & Dragons Adventurer issue 12. We get a spell booklet with this and some dice. Right, let's put those two bits aside and so we are having light and music, grappling, decay, darkness and ghouls, and play a dragonborn. A guide to D&D dice, percentile dice. If you're asked to roll percentile dice, D100, you roll 2 D10s to produce a number between 1 and 100. You assign one die as the tens unit and the other as the ones unit. Some D10s are numbered in tens, e.g. 10, 20, etc. To make this distinction easier, if you roll a 60 and then a 5, the result is 65. A roll of 0 followed by a 1 is 1, and zeros on both dice is 100. Okay. So these are the main puppies, the D20, the D8, the D12, the D6, the D10 and the D4. So these blue dice here look like the ones that you get in the Dungeons and Dragons starter set. I've purchased two of the Mines of Fandelver and the Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, and both came with a set of 6 blue dice. So yeah, I have 2 sets of these without the D100. But these look very much like the dice that you get in those sets. Creating an immersive environment. We have already discussed how a dungeon master can help bring a game to life and help their players embrace their characters more fully. By adding personality to every non-playable character the party meets, providing fuller and more intricate descriptions of those worlds also adds an extra immersive layer. Yet there are plenty of other tricks that can turn any kitchen or dining room table into a dank, chain-clinking, monster-filled dungeon or a breezy, fresh elven meadow that's about to be raided by a drow. So it goes on with combat, music and sound effects. There are apps that you can download for your phones and pads or tablets, like RPG sound effect apps. I do have one for my iPad, which is really great. It's like got loads of different stuff, from a dank, creepy dungeon, you know, with leaking walls or leaking ceilings, you know, and dripping water, to fighting on the open ocean, to a joyful, music-filled tavern. It's really great for helping to set the mood. Grappling and shoving. Grabbing a hold of a fearsome creature or knocking it to the ground during a fight can improve your chances of victory. In the encounter that we just had on Thursday, so last night actually, I charged a enemy, literally just charged into them to knock them to the floor. Thankfully, their strength check failed, so I was able to knock them prone, which was quite nice. And then using action surge, I stabbed them with my sword. Because hey, it's combat. There's no niceties. Grappling. When you want to grab a creature or wrestle it, you can use the attack action to grapple. Grappling is a special kind of melee attack that uses the following rules. You must have at least one free hand to attempt to grapple. The target of your grapple must be no more than one size larger than you. The target must be within your reach. If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, the grapple attack replaces one of them. The grapple attempt is handled with a contested grapple check instead of an attack roll. The party attempting the grapple makes a strength athletics check. This is contested by the target's strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check, with the target choosing which ability they prefer to use. A grapple automatically succeeds if the target is incapacitated. That's cool. Ending a grapple. The grapple condition ends when the grappler releases the target, which they can do whenever they choose with no action required. The grappler is incapacitated themselves. The grappled creature uses its action to escape. It must succeed on a strength, athletics, or dexterity acrobatics check, their choice, contested by the grappler's strength athletics check. An effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler or grappling effect. For example, a creature shoved 5 feet away or hurled away by the Thunder Wave spell would be freed from the grapple. So that's cool. Age. Your D&D character ages normally as time passes in the game, although different species may age at different speeds and live longer than others. So physical age. So Dragonborn become adults at around 15 years. Lifespan is around 80. Dwarves, 50 years, adulthood. Lifespan about 350 years. An elf, adulthood at around 100 years. Lifespan, 750 years. Furbolg, adulthood around 30 years. Lifespan, 500 years. A gnome, 40 years for adulthood. 350 to 500 years is the lifespan. A Goliath is 18 years for adulthood. They live less than 100 years. A halfling is 20 years and they live 150 odd years. And a human, adulthood at 18 years, they generally live less than 100 years. Age in the game. D&D characters age normally as time passes in the game, although most campaigns won't last long enough for those characters, for those advances in age to have any real effect. Dragonborn. Dragonborn are strong, honourable, and eager to prove their worth among the peoples of the Forgotten Realms. In Faerun, the precise provenance of the Dragonborn species remain unknown to most. Lost in the mists of time, some scholars believe they are the result of dark rituals concocted by the disciples of Tiamat. Others cite legends which state that the dragon god Io created them to serve the first dragons. Okay. And I'm assuming that you can get various coloured ones by the look of this. Half dragons versus dragonborn. Dragonborn are not the only species to combine humanoid and draconic traits, but you would do well not to confuse them with half dragons, which are very different in nature and origin. Half dragons are not a species as such and can be the result of polymorphed dragon mating with a creature of a different species, or the outcome of a magical experiment or ritual. Unlike Dragonborn, half-dragons usually have a tail and wings, and they often inherit the supernatural predisposition to good or evil and law or chaos of their draconic parent. Right, clerics, life domain. When you choose to walk the path of life domain, cleric, as with any cleric domain, you take on certain responsibilities. Divine domains. Clerics gain power through domains that represent an aspect of their god's power. These include Arcana, Death, Forge, Grave, Knowledge. life, light, nature, order, peace, tempest, trickery, twilight, and war. Each domain grants extra spells, class features, and new ways of using channel divinity to its clerics. Every deity is associated with a specific domain and champions the core aspect of their domain. For example, the gods of Azuth, Mistra, and Corellon, Larathian, are usually associated with the Arcana domain as they champion knowledge, learning, and arcane power. Hero folk. Scourge of tyrants and champion of the oppressed, a folk hero is renowned among the common people of the land. So, more character creation stuff. Role-playing a folk hero. First and foremost, your folk hero will be a person of the people, someone who knows the value of an honest day's work and sees nothing stronger than the social bonds formed by a tiny knit, typically a rural community. This could be played as a purely positive trait or given an interesting flip side through a distrust of the moneyed classes and nobility, perhaps even exhibiting itself as outright prejudice against high society, or even those who follow more scholastic pursuits. What can books teach you about the real world, etc.? A folk hero is also imbued with that aforementioned sense of destiny. You may choose for your character to accept this reluctantly, but it could alternatively be someone they crave, giving them a brash self-confidence that at times outweighs their wisdom and good judgment. Finally, you may want to consider the community your folk hero left behind. Do you have a betrothed praying for your safe return, a village elder whose counsel you miss, or enemies you've made in the nearby manor, plotting their revenge for standing against them? So, lore, monsters, ghouls, deadly revenants with a taste for flesh, and poison that paralyzes. So, kind of zombies. Varieties of ghouls. Aghast. Okay, as already noted, ghouls are capable of coordinating their attacks and hunting in packs to present a deadly threat to any party. They can also work in tandem with other creatures, including a similar form of undead, with the intelligence to marshal them, and a demon that can raise ghouls from corpses. Ghast, more powerful and intelligent than their ghoulish brethren. Ghasts have a similar paralysing claw attack and can also poison their prey with the emission of a foul stench. That's nice. I knew somebody that could do that. Okay, encounter overview. Plight of the roaming dead. So this is going to be a zombie attack. Orem Greywind is an aspiring fashion designer who wishes to travel from rural Fandalin to Neverwinter, where he will start his business. The young man knows that the road northward is not safe for the lone traveller, so he intends to hire the local heroes who have already proven themselves. Unbeknownst to the party, nefarious forces began raising the dead to haunt the Neverwinter region in the past few weeks. Flesh-eating ghouls prowl the roads even before sunset, disrupting trade and sending fear to the hearts of travellers. Their journey on the high road takes them to face these ghouls and save the unfortunate travellers who fell prey to these monstrous entities. Okay. So we've got some information on Orem Greywind. Ghouls on the road. Out of the box. Hide and seek. A few moments after the ghouls are slain, an elderly halfling commoner crawls out of the reinforced crate. Okay. So, potion of healing. Potion common. 2d4 plus 2 hit points when you drink this potion. So you can literally get a maximum of 10 hit points out of that. Expect to get something more middling, maybe about 6 when you roll that potion. Commoner stat block and a ghoul stat block. Okay, right, let's bring you down to look at the spellcaster's book. Spell booklet. So I wonder if this is just going to be, yeah, it's just a list of spells. Spells by class. Okay, so this is essentially the spells that you would find in the player's handbook. Cantrips and first level spells. So this hopefully will get more as we progress. First level spells A to Z. So these are your cantrips here. Vicious Mockery, our bard has used that, it's quite funny. And then first level spells. Now I've gone Eldritch Knight and I have okay, there's quite a few missing. I've got Magic Missile. Yeah, I've gone Magic Missile. I've also got Shield. And I've forgotten the other one now. I'll have to look it up. So, yeah. Cool. Hopefully we'll get more, and that will obviously increase our magic. Let's have a look at our dice. So black and blue, or blue and black. Yeah, I mean, you can just about make out the numbers on that. I wouldn't want to be playing in a dark basement. I don't think I'm using these as much because if you're in kind of like, my group initially met and were playing in a pub in their basement. 16, 3, 20, and it wasn't very brightly lit. 13, 15, 4. Actually, that's not rolling too badly. Certainly rolling better than last week's issue. 20 again, that's nice. 18, 19. Oh, I like this one. I might be using these a little bit more often then. But because we now play at my place, it's well lit. So yeah, handy. Right, so that is this week's issue, number 12. Hopefully you'll join me for the next one. All right, take care. Bye-bye.